Chair recognizes Representative McClain.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, I want to thank you for being here in front of this committee today, and it's a pleasure to meet you in person. I want to speak today in regards to what a lot of my colleagues have already spoken on, which is China. And I think we all agree is China seems to be our most challenging adversary or national threat. We're fortunate enough to have thousands of businesses across our country that have contracts with your department. My question is, do you believe it would be in the best interest of our national security to ensure that the CCP does not have access to our military intellectual property?
I absolutely believe that, and I think we need to, it's important to me to make sure that, number one, the DoD networks are properly protected, but we need to advocate or ensure that all those people, all those companies that are supporting us in supply chains are doing the right things to meet the standards to reduce vulnerabilities in the supply chain.
Extremely critical. Finally, do you fear that when the United States conducts a foreign military sale to a nation that also has accepted Belt and Road funding, that our military equipment might fall into the hands of the CCP? If not, can you explain how do we ensure that this doesn't happen, and what do we do to make this better and to protect America and to protect our intellectual property? What action steps can we take?
Well, before we enter into the agreements there, we certainly do assessments to make sure that the people that we're selling the gear to do have the capability to protect our property, our intellectual property, and they agree to do what's necessary to do that.
So to make sure I understand, I didn't mean to interrupt, is when we engage in a sale, we put mechanisms in place to make sure that our intellectual property is protected and secure.
To the best of our abilities, yes. We take appropriate and responsible actions. And of course, the State Department is involved in deciding whether or not these sales will be consummated. I mean, they get to approve that.
What do you think what measures, if any, can we take to make sure that we ensure this process is even safer to a greater ability? I mean, you hear, or at least I hear, the American public hears on a constant basis, China's stealing our intellectual property, and it's coming from a lot of our business dealings.
You know, I think we can, we need to continue to engage our partners and allies and emphasize the importance of this. We need to make sure that as we convey equipment, that we are confident that the people that we're conveying it to can protect the intellectual property. So.
Thank you, sir. I yield back.